Ladies and gentlemen, it is Championship Sunday for the Grand Finals of ESL 1 Cologne. We have 5 days behind us of intense action, some world-class Counter-Strike, and not a few iconic moments, particularly from the man Simple. It has been an amazing tournament so far. It's going to get even better with that grand final just ahead of us. 16 teams started 6 days ago. We are now left with just 2. Our 2 teams to introduce you to them. First up, Team Liquid, everyone. A team who have already made history by becoming the first ever North American team to reach a major final. But the big question on their shoulders right now is, can they end 10 years of waiting for a North American major championship? They go head-to-head with their South American brothers. They are SK Gaming, the current reigning world champions, the best team on planet Earth, and in the grand final for a second consecutive time. They will walk away from this with only one thing on their mind: a second consecutive title. All of them are heroes. All of them are legends. Only one team, though, can be the champions. We are here for a blockbuster of a grand final right here in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESL 1 Grand Final!
SK back on the grand final stage, and I believe this is what they wanted, but also what we wanted as fans, an opportunity to defend their title. We get to really see, which I think it seems unanimous now, the world's best team defend their title. These Brazilians have risen so quickly into, well, the top, the cream of the crop of Counter-Strike, and now they have a chance to defend their title. Gentlemen, just a couple of opening words on SK. They have definitely just jumped onto our radar over the last year.
Well, one of the things I found so amazing is, like, you look at some of the matches they're playing, their map pool is so deep, to the extent that if you only saw this tournament and you heard this is the best team in the world, you'd be impressed, but you might think to yourself, yeah, but they're not really blowing people up. People are refusing to play these guys on train, on overpass. Those are their best maps. That's the thing about being the best team in the world. You don't get to play on your best map and hope you get a win there. What happens is you play on your 3rd, your 4th best map, and you still beat the best teams in the world. So the underdog teams, they get their best. If they can get that one map, if Dignitas used to be able to get Cobblestone, maybe they have the upset. So this is just to emphasize how deep the map pool is, what an overall well-rounded team they are, and how well they match up against every other team.
Every other team. There's no kryptonite to SK currently, Yenko?
I think the biggest kryptonite to SK are SK themselves, right? I think that when they're on their A game, I think they're undoubtedly the best team in the world. I don't think there's another team right now that could match. And the problem is, you know, if they don't perform at that level, which we have been seeing recently, but that's what impresses me about them the most. Even when they're not on their A game, when you see that they're struggling, they're making some mistakes as well, they still manage to find the grit to pull through in the end and to take the win.
It's just that passion, raw emotion. We say it can, you know, get the best of them at times. It also drives them forward, and we are going to get a taste of that emotion now. We spoke to the SK Gaming players ahead of this grand final. Let's see what they had to say.
I think the crowd here is amazing. A lot of people watching great games. I think they're loving it, and I'm sure they're going to come tomorrow for the final. It's going to be the best game, I think. So as we started winning some tournaments, our expectations are always to win. We always try to win, and we're going to be disappointed if we don't. But you have to understand that being a top 4 on major is already a good result. So we're very satisfied, but we want more. So we're going to try our best to win this tournament as well. So the Virtus.Pro fans that was cheering for them, they have a corner here, a Polish corner. I think they're going to be cheering for us. We actually do super well with the players and with the Polish crowd. And I think they kind of see on ourselves the same hard work and the same things that their lineup did to get there. So I think we have a connection. So I'm hoping for the Virtus.Pro fans to cheer for us. I decided to bring my family to this tournament, and they're very excited. They're thinking everything is just amazing. They're loving it, and now I need to find them and see what they thought about watching me actually playing.
is a fairy tale story for SK. They are in their second major grand final back-to-back. And then in stark contrast, we start talking about Team Liquid. They are in their first as a North American team. Blue, it's happened. North America is in a grand final for the first time in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It took a pretty long time.
It has absolutely happened, and we've gotten some help from a Ukrainian player to get along the way there. I mean, you cannot see Liquid getting to this final without so much help coming in, especially in those situations where things are looking dire and they needed someone to clutch the rounds out. It's been Simple along the whole way as soon as we got to the playoff stage. He's been such an incremental and huge part of this team's victory, and it just cannot be underscored how much of an impact he's going to have on this finals as well.
Janko, we suggested they bonded super quick. Like this is a roster that's been thrust together, especially some new additions right down to the wire, and they do seem to already feel like a coherent unit.
Yeah, it just seems that they mesh really well and that everyone's comfortable in their respective roles. Sure, we've heard some stories here and there that maybe Simple and Peacemaker bump heads, but that's what's going to happen in a team. You can't always be on the same page. You're not always going to agree on everything. So I think that's a good sign actually that that's the obvious sign that there's fire in this team, that they are really hungry to perform here.
And actually, I just want to mention this, okay, so since he kind of referenced the asterisks, like, yes, it's a North American team, most of the players from North America, obviously, the star player, admittedly, from Ukraine, but let's not forget Peacemaker as well. This is another guy where he's not from North America, he's from Brazil, he's from South America, but I think you have to credit some of what this team's been able to do to his influence, his impact, because he's the first person we've ever seen to actually get Simple to buy into a system. You have to understand, Simple played for Blade. Legendary in-game leader, always has a great team. Simple was still that wild guy who was still out there. And so I also want to touch on something else Janko said, actually. I agree with his sentiment, okay. When you're a team as good as SK, like you're one of the all-time great teams, you're so good, normally you think it's just the only person who can beat you is yourself. If you master yourself, that's okay. There's a caveat to that. There's one guy over on Team Liquid in Simple who can do anything in this game. So if he hits that peak level, SK is going to have to beat him. Never mind master yourself, all that great self-help talk.
They're going to have to master Simple if he finds that form that we know he is capable of. And not only Simple, but the rest of the boys are ready to be introduced. Let's have a quick look at Team Liquid.
I think it's gonna be more people cheer for us because we was like underdogs for all tournament. We won NVS, Mouse Sports, and we won Navi yesterday, and now we won Fnatic. Nobody expects this, I'm pretty sure. Our semi-final was good. Everyone happy. Everyone says that we're gonna beat Fnatic. We should try because we practice more than them. Am I confident with Liquid? Sure, yeah. It's a great team. As I said, it's one of my favorite teams. I mean, it's insane. It's 2 majors. First it was semi-finals, and now we can win trophy. Everyone watching, my friend, parents, girlfriend, everyone watching from home. Here is 14,000 people are gonna be so happy. It's my first CSGO final, and it's on major.
His first final, and it's a major. Simple does just look like a kid on Christmas morning, given the opportunity to do what he loves, playing Counter-Strike, and it just happens to be for the lion's share of this 500,000 that is the grand prize for that grand final. Of course, total $1 million major. And before we do get these teams through the Lanxess Arena, there is one point that needs to be made. This is a rematch. There is a whole lot on the line, and Blue, you have the great pleasure. We've seen this matchup before, and we've seen this matchup at a major before.
Yep, for those who weren't here, for those who were part of the community for the last major, keep in mind, Team Liquid was just 2 rounds away from being in the same position at the final, but it was SK that denied them of that slot last time because of the whole Liquid choke thing happening. Peacemaker has come into the team, though, and it seems like he's had a great help in actually correcting that issue, as Thorn was saying earlier, fixing a lot of the core problems with Team Liquid. So he's coming in and helping out this team in a great way. And again, going back to Simple, too, let's remember another thing. We had so many CIS teams make it to the quarterfinals, but they were all knocked out. So Simple is not only helping out here in North America too, but he's also the last hope for the CIS region in this tournament.
And it is time, gentlemen. We talk about Liquid, but first, to walk through the Lanxess Arena is SK Gaming. It is the defending world champions are about to head to the grand final stage. Let's do this right. SK Gaming to the Lanxess Arena.
Making their second appearance at a grand final, the reigning world champions coming all the way from Brazil. Give it up for SK Gaming!
Such a swift rise to power for this Brazilian powerhouse. SK Gaming are on the grand final stage once again. These fans do drive them forward. We said they are based on emotion. We said it can get the better of them at times, but just knowing that 14,000 people are watching them do what they do best, playing Counter-Strike, sure does make a pretty good day, a pretty good memory here in Cologne. They're on the grand final stage and they do have an opportunity to just show us what they are made of. Zeus, the coach, telling them that this has been one of, the most romantic stories these young guys have got to experience, and standing in their way in this grand final is the North Americans. The North American hopefuls, the North American dream is about to go ahead and join SK on the grand final stage.
Making their first appearance in a grand final, the pride of North America. Put your hands together for Team Liquid!
It's a battle of North versus South. North, of course, coached by a man with a Brazilian flag on his back and on his passport. Peacemaker is behind them, and he'll be guiding them through this grand final as their coach. It really must be difficult to not have a little bit of a tear as you walk through 14,000 fans ready to watch you play your game. We have Simple, we have the whole gang, and now we get to hear what they have to say before this grand final. Paul Red Eye Challoner has the lesson.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, final words from our two grand finalists. Does that sound great already, Team Liquid in the grand final?
Absolutely. I could never have guessed that we would have made it all the way to the finals this time. So it's such an amazing feeling. The experience here has been amazing. The crowd has been amazing. So we're going to put on a show for you guys.
Glad to hear it. In terms of where you are right now and playing these guys again, semi-final last time, we know what happened then. Is that in the back of your mind, or are you just thinking about redemption?
Yeah, I never want that to happen again. That's what we focus on coming up to this event, so we don't choke anymore. We wanted to play SK at this event. We have the chance now. It's in the finals. You couldn't ask for a better scenario, so I'm so excited.
And best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Liquid. And over the right-hand side, Gabriel, another grand final for you. It's become a common theme throughout 2016, but the majors are special, and I know how much it means to you to win yet another one. What is it that drives you guys?
Hello, everyone. So for us, it's always a dream coming true when it comes to finals. Our path to get here was very difficult. We have to go through a lot of things. So when we have a chance to win another title, we're going to do everything we can to win it. So we're feeling blessed to be here, and we want to make a great show and do our best.
Okay, well, good luck. In terms of Team Liquid and matching up against them, you met them in the semi-final last time at MLG. They ran you very close. You know just how good these guys are.
Yeah, definitely. I have so much respect for those guys in Team Liquid. Much of them are my friend, many of them. So I think this time they have a very good lineup. They really found 5 players that play well together. And they look scary this tournament. They beat a lot of good teams, and now they have the final boss. Let's see what happens.
All right, very best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, SK Gaming. And we are ready for the grand final.
The battlegrounds are going to be incredibly important here. SK, a team we've already credited as having one of the deepest map pools around, and Liquid, who have found form so damn quick. with this new roster. Peacemaker, a big part of that. Gentleman, Duncan in particular, you have been studying these teams. You've been trying to theory craft where this map veto goes. Of course, for those unaware, these maps of a 7-map pool determine what the shape of the arena that you do battle in is. Duncan, 7 maps to play with.
Yeah, I think this one actually should be fairly straightforward. We know the strengths of both teams, and crucially, they have maps that they like to play against each other. Now, the one map of the guys from SK that Team Liquid does not want any part of is Overpass. And this is already a ban for Team Liquid as it is, so I expect that should be their ban. For SK Gaming, their current permaban is Cash, and after what they saw against Fnatic from Team Liquid yesterday, I'm pretty sure they just stick with that. So then we come into the picks. And when you come into the picks in these teams, you've got to look at the fact that the best map for Team Liquid has been Cobblestone. Well, we know from all these series we've seen, the guys from SK are more than willing to let you play that. They like that map as well, so I think that's a great initial map that we should see from Team Liquid. And then from the guys over on SK Gaming's side of things, you have to think what's left, what's left, what's left. I'm thinking that they go with Mirage, because if Mirage is not banned out, they are amazing on Mirage. It's the map that they won yesterday. See, we've got the ban of Cash coming in from SK, like I said there. We expect it should be the Liquid Overpass, unless they want to pull some kind of crazy, out of nowhere curveball. My problem is if they do that, I actually think then they're at risk of the guys from Luminosity just going ahead, well, SK now, going ahead and just picking Overpass. And I think that would be too dangerous.
You're nodding. Does this make a lot of sense to you, Yanko?
Yeah, I think Duncan has been spot on right now, and the problem for them is if you don't ban, it's easier to, if you don't play the map, it's easier to play Mirage than Overpass, right? It's a pretty straightforward map. It's played a lot. Players probably know all of the smokes, positions, and everything else. So I would also expect them to veto Overpass here.
My dream is if we do get, okay, so we've got the current bans at the moment. Let's say we just hypothetically think, what could be a good third map if we do get those first 2? The dream, okay, is that we get Train as the third map, because we know it's a Liquid one. They've been kind of a sleeper team on that, but that's another amazing map for the guys from SK. They're so good on that map. Most teams just straight up avoid them if they can, if it's at all a ban. So I think that the randomizer could help us out there with kind of the dream matchup. So we'll see what the SK pick is. Like I say, I think it should be Mirage from what's left. They actually go with Train directly, so they're going to flip it up the other way. They're going to say, we'll actually play you on a map, you're probably going to pick Cobblestone, we like that. We think we're better than you on Train. And so I'll go the other way. I hope Mirage is going to be the third map then.
You hoping to see Mirage as well, Blue, in this one?
I have to echo the sentiments of Thorn exactly. I feel like it's going to be an amazing set that goes the distance to all 3 maps if we do get it over on Mirage. It could also end up being a little bit tricky for Team Liquid if it goes to a map, say like Dust 2 or whatnot, because I still feel like SK as individuals are going to end up just outskilling them on that map. And Liquid, regardless of like the prowess that Peacemaker brings to the table, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
so
here we
there's
go.
a Cobble pick. Yeah,
so we got the Cobble.
Sense.
Please no nuke, please no nuke, please no nuke.
Cross your fingers and toes.
Gay Ben, please.
I mean, Dust 2, Nuke, and Mirage, the remaining 3. This is a randomized map. Just to clarify, of the remaining 3, it is randomly chosen which one will be played.
Also, a small thing to mention.
Boo! Boo!
It's Nuke.
A small thing to mention here about picking Train instead of a map like Mirage is that in this veto process, when you pick the map, the opposing team gets to pick the side. So Train, notoriously a CT-sided map, while on the other hand, Mirage is more even. So maybe makes things easier a little bit for Liquid.
For the storyline, though, if you are a Team Liquid fan and you think this team can win this final, it's going to be a hard ask to ask them to get both a Train and Cobble. But if they get over to Nuke, they've played Nuke already. They looked very good on it. SK barely squeaked out their win on Nuke. This is probably the only map in the pool SK isn't that comfortable on, actually. So if you can get to a third map, if you can take that Cobble or steal away Train, then you can get to a world where it's absolutely up in the air, and even SK can't feel like we're strong favorites on that map.
So Cobblestone is Liquid's pick. No, undoubtedly coming into this grand final as a form of underdogs. That's what our job here on the analyst desk is to outline. Cobblestone versus SK, though, this isn't necessarily a guaranteed pickup for the North Americans, Yanko.
It's not. We've seen SK play it against VP yesterday, although in the end they lost the map thanks to some amazing clutches from Neo more than anything else. But the thing is, when you look at the Flasha interview, right, about the Liquid Navi game, he said, I don't see anything special from Liquid on Cobblestone. I don't know how they do it, pretty much, and that's the biggest problem. When a team is so good on a map, they keep winning on it, and you're not really sure why it's happening, because if you don't know why it's happening, it's hard to counter it. I believe that more than anything else, it suits the roles of the players, their play styles very well, and it's obvious that Simple really enjoys the map, being as how he's the star player, I think that's super important for them.
It's going to be a bit difficult, though, for Team Liquid on the T side to get key areas of the map under their control. Like drop, I feel like is going to be a hot spot for that. They're going to have problems with, considering how varied SK have been and actually the way that they play that. Normally, one team is either going to always actively hold the defense in there or play the more passive style where they just hold the exits. They've been playing around a lot with FNX, kind of having them do both of those jobs inside and outside. So you never really know what you're going to get as a Team Liquid member on the T side. So they're going to have to find a way to get over that one and find their way into the B-bomb site, which is the hot spot for that map, of course.
But the thing is, obviously, I mean, we can look at the Liquid thing and go, you know, SK might steal your map, they might win that. It's not impossible that Liquid can win on Train. Liquid's already shown us some stuff on Train. They were quite convincing, actually, when they were against Envious earlier on. I feel like if it gets to Train, hey, Liquid's going to start out and they're going to say, hey, maybe we can steal your map, Pico. And that obviously would be the ultimate start to the final if that was to happen.
Yeah, and in that Navi game as well, when we watched Train, it was obvious to me, at least, that Liquid took a page out of SK's book when it comes to playing CT side on Train, especially against Navi, because the Brazilians from SK were amongst the first teams that were able to challenge Navi on that map, where they were pretty much, you know, the best team in the world. So I think double up is going to be really important on Train. On one hand, you have JDM and Simple. On the other hand, you have Cold Zero and Fallen, of course, and both teams seem to like to play aggressively with those ops, either towards B halls, Fallen even going towards that stairs area for close range battle, Cold Zero towards Ivy. So I think this is going to be pretty dynamic for a map like Train that can be a bit more slow-paced than the others.
Yeah, we have seen success with both of these teams on this map in the past. It's time, though, to make your decision clear. Predictions. We are getting so close, guys. This is the grand final. It's on the way. Just predictions from the analyst desk, first of all. Blue, we start with you. I know, North America and all that, but it's SK's pick to grand final. What are you saying?
Well, got a little present here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to be America, boys. Taking map 1, maybe not map 2, but I think we got map 3 as well. We're going the distance. Team Liquid has this.
Yeah, he's pulled a Moses there. He's pulled a Moses.
Yeah, never go full Moses. They never learn.
It worked extremely well for him and MLG, right? But yeah, I think the biggest, one of the main talking points is that coming into this final, SK has a win rate in pistol rounds about almost 80%, while Liquid, on the other hand, has only 40. And it's been impressive how they've been able to win games, even though they were losing pistol rounds. But I feel that has to change if they're going to challenge SK here, and I'm going for SK on Train.
SK on Train. SK on their pick. Duncan, same from you?
I think SK is the best team on Train, but to add to it, what I'm worried about, the big X factor in terms of the guys from Team Liquid is, they're not winning those pistol rounds, and SK always starts strong. And so when they start strong in that way, it's like you give the underdog a chance to maybe fold or to get discouraged. So I hope Team Liquid can kind of keep pace with them, okay? And they don't have to dig themselves out some crazy hole, because I think on this map, Train, SK are the not an overwhelming favorite, but they certainly are the favorites.
This certainly will be a grand final that lives up to its name. How did we get here, I hear you ask? Find out on the Score Esports. It enables you to get a track of everything and how we got to a all-American grand final. Of course, a little asterisk by that one. I got in trouble with that before. But when we come back from the break, it's the grand final. It is Train. And your casting pair are going to be 3 very familiar faces here for any Counter-Strike fan. Let's go back, sit back, relax, and enjoy some good Counter-Strike after the break.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's Team Liquid and SK Gaming. It's the grand finals of ESL 1 Cologne, the major championship. With me, I have Moses, I have Semler. How are you guys feeling?
This is incredible. This crowd right now. You can feel the floor shaking.
I know, man. It's like Cologne last year. It was a favorite event, and again, the crowd is here. It delivers. It's physically painful to be on the receiving end of these fans, man. The noise that they make, you just feel it in your body, in the core of your being.
This is just so exciting. The history of this, either someone's going to be two major champions in a row or the first North American team. They've already made history. They've already had an incredible run. And if they're able to top this off here against SK, that would go down as one of the best runs in major history.
Basically, the bracket that they had to go through is one of the most competitive you could possibly actually happen. It's like almost somebody wrote this, you know, it's stacked, it's nuts, it's Na'Vi, it's Fnatic, it's the best teams in the world that Liquid have had to make it through. And if they can take down SK, that would be just an incredible run through the entire tournament to take their first major title.
Which may be also one of the reasons why it's hard to predict that would happen. They are obviously the underdogs, and I think I can't even believe that they're here. That's the thing. It feels like they shouldn't have been here, but now that they are, you know, should we keep doubting them? Is that the rational thing to do, or you know, is it time for just a little bit of belief?
I don't know if you can doubt them. I mean, you can. The things that I'm looking at that you doubt, they mentioned on the desk that the no pistol rounds is going to be an issue, but also you look at that, you know, on Cash, that drop down from simple, no scope in midair, no scope from across the bomb site. These are miraculous plays that you can't rely on, and if they need those kind of plays to beat the likes of Fnatic, of crazy rounds against Na'Vi as well, you're not always going to get those plays.
I'm going to go with the usual card, which is experience, right? And just say that SK, they've won a major, they've won major championships, they've locked this down, they know how it feels to actually grind rounds out when the pressure is on the highest stage possible, right? Liquid, simple, this is his first final, and it's a major final. How wild is that? I mean, are they going to be able to perform? Because it's a completely different beast now. Now you're in the grand finals versus the best.
I mean, you can just see Simple on the screen there, eyes closed, leaning on his hands, just finding the zone.
Yeah, but interestingly, I actually count Simple amongst the people on this team that Liquid could really count on. I think he's less affected by pressure than almost any player I've ever seen before in this game. I think Nitro has been really strong, and we've seen these sort of intro videos from Hiko. You can tell that sort of the dedication and the sacrifices he's had to make. I don't think this is where Hiko's going to fall. A little bit more worried about JDM and Elige. I think a little bit less experience, and maybe especially Elige, although he was playing so well yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying that, but throughout the tournament, that's been my feeling.
Well, we're about to find out. I mean, if Hiko can actually win a tournament, he said it himself not too long ago, if I don't win a tournament, my career has been a waste. That's a lot to put on yourself going into a grand finals.
Well, we're going to find out. 5 seconds left as we head in. So once again, a huge welcome and thank you for tuning in. It is Liquid starting on the CT side. It will be SK on the terrorist side. We do have that smoke and a couple of flashbangs set up, and it looks like Fallen is already going for it. They're going to put four people down Ivy. This is interesting.
What they can do here is smoke off one side. That would isolate Nitro. He's the only one there, so he's got to find a good avenue to fall back on. JDM can be there to support, but he's got to be very mindful of mid.
Now, so long as JDM is there to actually watch A main, Nitro should be fine. He decides to fall back, and he's going to go to the back line. Instead, it's Taco taking point. Wipes out JDM and Simple both. And now he sees the bot. He sees the boosted man as well, and Taco's on the hunt. He's not going to let him get away, and Lige is stuck.
How do you get out of this? Taco trying to knife in a pistol round. The first pistol round, that's madness. He's going to get the headshot instead. And now it's Nitro and Hiko trying to see if they can retake. Cold is waiting for Nitro. Great position there, point blank range with the Glock. He's going to win it, and it's no issue at all for SK. They only lost Fur, and Taco picks up a quad kill.
That was Taco basically saying, welcome to the show, boys. This is the real deal now. You're playing against the big boys. I mean, what a play from him. Quad killing the pistol to start things off. That is going to rock Liquid.
Taco's been so good for SK in this tournament, and it often goes unnoticed, but that kind of entry power, I mean, you look at those kills, it's not even necessarily the fault of the setup that Team Liquid ran. Those are instant kills from Taco. Those are, you can't even respond to that. This is opening 2 and then on a simple. And then even from there, I mean, he doesn't commit to a fight against Elige despite the attempt at a knife. He just keeps him occupied, doesn't let him peek, doesn't let him get back into the round.
Well, you've got to think that this was part of the plan. I mean, maybe not part of the plan, but Liquid will have sort of mentally planned for that this might happen. They know the statistics as well. They're going to try and go aggressive, and a good shot comes in from Hiko, and actually Cole taking a long time, and that allows JDM to follow up on that kill. So now it's a 3-on-3. First sneaking around outside Elige in the back line. They still have that scout in play.
They're going to be able to make their way out through A main to back up Fur here. It looks like FNX and Fallen just getting out now onto the site. Fur has been spotted, tagged down to 45. Elige, he's got that scout. He can put it to good use. If he can get the headshots, he can get the kills.
He's already got a tag, so first very, very softened up. He's being very smart, not peeking. Elige knows he has him isolated, so it's up to Nitro, it's up to JDM to make some kind of a play. Just another shot, but it doesn't land.
That probably should have been at least some damage in there. Fallen gets the refrag instead. They have two people on very low health, but Nitro's not hitting the shots with the Deagle either, and he's going to be going down. JDM with the AK in hand. It might be better to try and save this.
Absolutely. Bring it into the next one. There's no money. They force spot into this round. What you can do with this AK-47, even on the CT side, even though you already invested, is pass it over to Simple. Have him get body armor to avoid the aim punch, but then he's got a chance in the next round, but it doesn't even look like SK wants this to happen. They are hunting him down. He's going to get one, but he's got to be careful from the stairs.
They want to do is recover this AK, and it looks like they will manage just that. FNX, unfortunately, no. FNX already had an AK. Fallen, he's on the other side of the map with the scout. So actually, this is a pretty costly round for SK Gaming. That second one, they dropped 3 people, including some rifles.
At least they take the danger away from this round, though. At least now there's no AK-47 they have to worry about. They don't have to find out where it is. They know they're going to be going against unarmored opponents, so this makes it much easier despite not bringing that AK to themselves.
So into the upcoming round, obviously Liquid won't have too much to show for it. Simple does pick up a Deagle because that's just what he does. But it will be the 4th round that's going to be the real test. So right now we just have to see if Liquid can get a bit more damage in. Already engaging out in the courtyard is going to be Elige. He goes down, and Simple with a good follow-up. Nitro catching a little bit too much fire there. And he's going to be out of the round. So Simple very low on health as well. Don't see him doing much else.
No, he's going to start backing off. Maybe looking to save that Deagle if he can. Just because at this point, this is just that lack of respect coming in from SK Gaming. That's exactly what they want to do. They know that it's going to be a hard eco for Liquid. Why show any respect? Get out onto that A side, just pummel them even more. After that brutal pistol round, SK Gaming, they want to do everything they can at this point to destabilize Liquid's mindset going into this next key round for Liquid.
And it is a very key round. JDM's going to have the AWP. He hasn't purchased anything, so he'll have plenty of money. But one of the strengths that Team Liquid has had in this run has been that double op setup. JDM and Simple have looked in this tournament to be one of the most formidable 2-op setup we have in the game right now. And that's going against Fallen and Cold, who are probably the other two you'd put up there at the top. Simple's not going to have money with this Deagle buy, with the buy in the second round, so they're going to have a very good start to these gun rounds if they want a chance to build up the economy necessary to bring that into play.
Oh, it is a real pleasure to see all of the pieces coming together for Liquid. And it's good that you mentioned that, right? SK Gaming, they have the double op. Navi, they have the double op. Fnatic, they have the double. They can all, you know, actually just have this deep playbook. Multiple sniper rifles can be so difficult to deal with when you're on that T side. You're basically running into that crosshair. You're just crossing your fingers. You're hoping that op is going to miss. If there's 2 of them, of the likes of Simple and JDM, we'll see how SK decide to deal with it.
This is where you're really worried about that Deagle buy from Simple, because he goes for full armor and the M4. He doesn't have any nades. That $800 on the Deagle, that's money he could use on the nades, as smoke, some flashbangs.
Eco right now is playing alone in the B bomb side, which is a common type setup. Simple's going to rotate back in here, but he can't really do much to help out Hiko, and they actually, neither of them have any grenades. So this is why this round is such a big test for Liquid. They need to win it to stop SK early on, but they certainly also need the money going forward to buy some smokes and Molotovs.
Yeah, that's the main issue here. This is always the issue that you run into on the CT side. If you're going for the plays in the second round, you go for the force buy, you're getting Kevlar. It just means you're not going to have the utility in that 4th round buy. This is all going to come down to how cold-blooded Liquid are. Can they keep their cool and hit the headshots? FNX, he's already given us one. Hiko is down. FNX trying to open up this B site. Taco will get picked by Simple, however, so we're into a 4-on-4. But the bomb, it's been planted, and now the countdown begins. Liquid, they need to get in here and get those clippers on that bomb.
Now this lack of grenades is really going to come back to haunt them. Fallen has a Molotov in the back line. They have a smoke saved yet. Elige going to pick up the kill there on FNX, but look at Fallen ready, and when he goes down, JDM, he hits that shot. And now it is going to be down to a 2-on-3. Fur and Cold on the site. Elige is now out of it, and look at Fur flanking right now. Liquid are sandwiched in, and they don't even realize it, but Nitro going to pick up a kill. Do they have a kit right now picked up? They need to hold on for a long time. Fur pushing up, running with the knife out. He's got the AK in hand. He's going to run into JDM, and there's that shot coming out. Double for JDM, and Liquid going to win the 4th round.
That is so difficult to do. The timing of that hit from SK was perfect. It's just when Simple was transitioning to a new spot that left Hiko all alone, paying attention to lower ramp, and he gets picked off from upper. And now we're going to see that double op come out. But the retake, this is one of the strengths that Team Liquid has had that we've never seen out of North American teams. The patience, using the full timer of that that bomb plant to be able to make this retake, to keep an eye on your flank. And JDM with some timely shots there.
This comes from studying their opponents in the past. Fnatic famous for it, waiting 15 seconds before they even think about getting onto a bomb site. These are the sorts of things you try and force errors. SK Gaming, they played it well in that after plant situation, trying to push forward to connector, but Liquid have shown now that they can hold their own. 4 players on the A site to start this round, and Hiko holding alone on B, although Elige is now rotating back. And SK Gaming, they're kind of set up to catch everything here. Fallen is looking down towards Ali. He's got that scope position, and the rest of his teammates gathered up and ready to go towards Pop Dog.
It also gives Liquid this double ult play that we were talking about earlier. So actually, interestingly, they're both out in the A bomb side. What do you think about that, Moses?
This actually isn't too bad for Liquid at the moment. I mean, you see where they're set up. They're expecting some kind of a push from Ivy. They have Simple over there with the op. But the scary part about that is that situation, he can get boxed in there, and then he's got to fight his way out. There's not a whole lot of different angles he could be mobile around. And he actually just moves out of the position, moves over towards the bomb train. JDM is out there, though, as well. He's also close up, so this is a very aggressive stance with the Ops.
Yeah, with the AWP up close, you miss the shot, you're dead, but he's going to try and fall back. JDM is now in that smoke wall. He's trying to force it, but the flash is ill-timed. He's blind. He has to fall back to stay alive. And it looks like SK Gaming will get half of the bomb site. Now they have to figure out how to crack on through, actually get a kill to make their lives easier.
They're running out of time here. This is a problem. 35 seconds. JDM goes down to Fur. It's a good start here for SK, but they need to follow it up with an actual bomb plant. And the bomb just dropped there. FNX carrying it. It is a 3-on-4 right now, but they still need a bomb plant in the next 20 seconds. And they're being held back right now. A little bit hesitant here on the Brazilian side. Nitro going to pick up a kill on Cold Zero. Makes it a 3-on-2 now, and Elige goes down now, all up to Hiko. 10 seconds, and they will get the bomb plant. And this is where Hiko's supposed to be doing his work, but he can't make it happen. Fallen to take him out. And that is a really swift comeback into the first half here for SK.
We talked about the patience of Team Liquid on that retake, on that post-bomb plant at the inner site. Look at the patience of SK as that clock's running out, as all the smokes are up, as they've made no progress, as the bomb is down, not even getting it planted until about 10 seconds left in the round. That is a very scary feeling at a certain point when you're alive and you look up at the clock. That takes a lot of faith in your teammates and what's being communicated to you and when you guys decide to pounce.
This is a worst case scenario now for Liquid as well. Back to pistols they go. They definitely did not have the economy to fall back on for a buy round, and so SK Gaming, they know this. They've got the 2 MAC-10s. They'll probably just try and feed them in there, get those SMG kills, get that bonus money in their pockets, and Fur to lead the way, also getting that information. He wants to find out how Liquid are set up, and now he knows somebody's in Pop Dog and someone close to main. Nitro is going to find the pick on him.
Good return for Fallen. And it is a minimal loss. They did only drop a MAC-10 out there, so they'll be all right with it at least. They did, already spot a couple of people, so he got something out of it.
But now look at SK just readjusting. Cold's going to lead the way. He's actually far ahead. He's very, very aggressive, all alone at the bomb as well. Liquid's got a good read. They have 3 players here, but can they actually withstand this onslaught? He's going to have a lot of freedom to just peek from this upper ramp.
Simple approach with Elige's support. Elige is going to be the one to try and draw attention to himself. Simple, just waiting to pounce. And Hiko on the bomb train, controlling that space. JDM is miles away, so he's not going to be in position to be able to help his teammates quickly enough here. 45 seconds left on the clock, and SK Gaming begin the push. Taco leading the way with that MAC-10. We'll see if he can actually find Simple. He is checking coils. He's going to be looking towards the train, and Elige rips his head off. It's on FNX now to try and trade it, but Elige with a second kill.
Oh no, it's unraveling for SK. This round was a sure thing, but they slowed down. I think they even failed the Molotov. Good kill from Cold Zero, but still only 28 seconds here. They need to move in and get this bomb plant home. And Hiko, I don't think anyone has even seen him. They don't know where he is right now. A lot of damage being put into Cold Zero as well. 19 seconds, and now finally SK are going to man up and try and see if they can get out here. Hiko picking up a kill, and it's all down to Cold Zero. 10 seconds, jumping back onto the side. He has to stick the plant. He can't even fake it, and actually he's going to be successful in that. Now the Deagle goes for the fight, takes out Hiko, and now it's a 1-on-1. Orb versus Orb, and JDM goes down! Cold Zero! That's the quad kill! And SK gonna pick up a very, very tight round.
That almost collapses for SK, and Cold bails him out of a really tough spot. One missed Molotov, actually a self-Molotov bounces off the wall and just right back onto the ramp, and SK, their attack gets split. Nice kills from Elige, but then you can kind of see a little bit lack of discipline on the Liquid side. When they're up in that 4-on-2 situation, you see Simple get aggressive up the ladder, get picked off. I mean, you can't give away these kills to SK. Those windows of opportunity, they're going to punish them every single time.
Exactly. That is exactly what SK Gaming are capable of. They will keep their cool in the high-pressure situations. They know what it is to play in a grand final and to win a major. What's at stake here for SK is the back-to-back major, setting them up for the triple crown, perhaps. We'll see if it's possible. 5-1, SK Gaming in the lead, and again, an anti-eco scenario here. Fur and Taco racking up the kills. Taco with 2. Only $1,200 in his pocket. He's going to be feeling good about that. FNX going for a long spray fight with JDM, and coldzera will find Hiko. It's as good as it gets until Fur decides to kill his teammate with a nade. It was perfect, Anders. It was looking so good.
It was happening, wasn't it? And I was about to say the silver lining here for Liquid was they had actually managed to keep the SK economy low, but with a round like that, suddenly they're looking much better. coldzera was a little bit quiet in the beginning. Now he's 10-0-3 right now, so that's a very good scoreline heading into the beginning of the 8th round here.
And a very important round. SK's already gotten so many rounds on their terrorist side. This is now a very dangerous situation for Liquid where this could just steamroll completely away from them. I mean, it's already kind of stretched to the limit. They need to start putting rounds on the board before they can allow SK to regain control of this match.
They need to start chaining rounds is what needs to happen here. Liquid need that bank. Once again, they go for rifles, don't have many nades to back them up. And SK Gaming fully aware of this, just pushing aggressively. In fact, Taco takes the bomb over into Brown Halls. He leads with it. So if he got caught in a trap, that could have got a little tricky for SK. But SK, they have the 3 players there. This does make you think like they want to start heading towards that B site. But again, it's all about map control. Fallen is making sure that Team Liquid aren't getting too aggressive over by A main or by Ali, and as the rest of his team kind of clear out the map. And so now SK Gaming, they have all the options available to them. They can go anywhere.
It's a very aggressive setup from Elysian Nitro as well. And it's a little bit tough because they're out of smokes to block these choke points. So they've got to be very careful how they handle it. But this is that duo for Liquid that's so good early on in rounds. They're the ones on the T side, you'll see them going in first, trying to get those opening kills. Here on the CT side, they're mounting this very aggressive defense. When this execute comes in, unlike the last gun round, they're going to be in front of the smoke. So they'll be able to challenge if they hold their ground.
Well, you can see right now the Brazilian side are setting up the standard smokes that everyone by now has watched Train before will already recognize. And they have the bomb over there as well, indicating it's not going to be a fake. They will try and get out here a little bit delayed. And again, if you look at the round timer here, down to 30 seconds. This is going to be one more for the limit play. Nitro up on the Train and going to be back down again, looking for the early fight. It's going to be a quick trade as Elige goes down. Nitro spraying and connecting. It will be JDM to get a kill as well, but Nitro eventually falls and it's a 2-on-3.
With only 17 seconds left on this clock, though, Fallen needs to get on that bomb. He hesitates for a second, but his teammate finds a kill in the meantime, so we're into a 2-on-2 until JDM steps in, drops Fallen in the open, and Hiko will flank FNX. Team Liquid, they survive in the end and even find the second AWP for Simple. So that's actually shaping up nicely. They saved both of the core guns, but again, it is going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel here. They still don't have that much money.
What do you think about this approach of having so many rounds go to the sort of the very end of the round timer? Will that be predictable in the long run?
It could be, but I mean, the thing about SK, they can switch that up. They're very good at changing the tempo, and right now, this might just be a game plan for early on, and if Liquid can prove they can consistently stop it, all of a sudden SK can transition into something a little bit more aggressive. It doesn't even have to be an all-out aggressive execute. It can be 2 players getting highly aggressive towards inside the inner bomb site, trying to get an early pick, and you might be able to catch Liquid on sleeping a little bit.
I like to see the thorough play coming in here from SK, once again abusing the grenades that they have. Molotov to make sure there can be no aggressive hold on lower, and lower, it's actually Hiko going for the spray. Will finally track down Taco, looking for more, and he gets it. Headshot on FNX. Man advantage now for Liquid going into this B push, and SK Gaming, they're getting picked off one at a time with the bomb getting dropped in the open.
What a hero round coming out from Hiko, 4th in the streak. And especially the 3rd kill was so big because JDM was actually on the far left side and he missed the easy shot then, and Hiko just roams in and takes out a couple or more. That's a really solid defense, and look at what it does to the terrorist side economy. They have almost no money. Finally, some breathing room.
Yeah, and there's that switch up into a little bit more aggressive from SK. This time they don't let the clock run down. This time they throw those same smokes that they've been throwing before. What they're doing is just setting up that pattern. They want Team Liquid to get used to that smoke being there so that they can be fast through it if need be. That tries to lull Liquid into a false sense of security with it. Hiko's not prepared, though. We mentioned Hiko, very experienced player, the most experienced player on this team, and JDM, that smoke and the knife out as well.
What? How did Taco get the kill? JDM was jumping in the smoke. I refuse to believe you could see him then. That seems like absolute craziness. It's going to be a 4-on-4 anyway. They are out in the yard.
And set up, Elige seems to have a bit of an idea that this position could be compromised. Yep, the HE banked right back onto Electric, does a little bit of damage, forces FNX to react, and he'll be there to collect the kill. In the meantime, the bomb is making its way through Ali, and so things could get a little tricky here for Nitro. He has to worry about 2 angles. He has nobody really watching A main for him unless that's Simple with the AWP scoped up. And so now Nitro can actually just focus on Ali, and he's going to get that crossfire going with Elige, who just got picked by coldzera. The 3-on-3 now, and SK Gaming, they still have so much time to work with.
Taco's 1 kill might be very influential because it did give up that big sniper rifle. Call has gone down though. Nice shot from Simple. And Nitro to fall. Taco doing even more work in this round. He's going to go for the spray. Only 40 seconds left. He picks up one more kill. That makes it a triple, and no one's even touched him yet. He hasn't got armor, so if Hiko lands a shot on him here, then that should be the end of the fight. But, I mean, Hiko right now, he's got to be terrified. One-on-one versus Taco.
This was a collapse. This was a round that Liquid did not have to give this much up. The first kill is fine, but from there, letting that go from a 2-on-1 into a 1-on-1 is a mistake. Simple caught out in the open. You do leave it on the best clutch player you have, but so much time for Taco. Oh, and he wins it! What is this?
What? No Kevlar, instant headshot from Taco on Hiko? And Hiko had the drop on him. That is not a round you can give up. And Hiko, the king of clutch, he falls, he's been dethroned.
Ooh, yeah, that's got to be a round that really shifts the momentum. If Liquid were building anything, and if they had any sort of like team confidence, a lot of it disappears in a round like that.
Dude, Taco's just taking off right now for SK Gaming. This is wild. Just a few months ago, you would think, well, he's not exactly the heaviest hitter. Cold Zera, Fur, you've got crazy players. Nobody really talking about Taco. But in these big matches, he was instrumental in SK Gaming picking up their win at Columbus, and he just continues to show how valuable he is here. 13 kills on the board, and all of them seem like impact kills.
Close there, Nitro hoping for the right timing, but FNX had his gun out and was ready for it. Elige did pick up a kill here, and again, Liquid right now, they just need to win as many rounds as humanly possible here. 7 rounds is already well within the comfort zone for SK for a first half.
I mean, this is Liquid's doing good damage on their ecos, these Deagle buys. Elige has had some very nice kills. They're salvaging some weapons. It's just, you know, you're doing the work. You're just not closing out the rounds you have to afterwards.
Low Fallen saw the gun barrel. Saw someone over there. FNX will find JDM in the end, however, and so we are into that 3-on-3. It always seems to be so close between both of these teams, but there's 50 seconds left on the clock and plenty of time to work with until Simple steps in and shuts down Cold. 2 AKs now for Team Liquid to come back into this round with now.
40 seconds, Fallen. They need one more kill. The bomb is out by Electric, so neither SK player is currently carrying it, and that could be a really big problem there. FNX thinking there might be someone else up there. They don't seem to have the information that Elige actually made his way out. He was in the sniper nest earlier. And once again, SK are at the verge of running out of time here. Liquid could pick up a massive round here if they could actually do it. Those Deagles really have come into play for them. Fallen fakes the plant once, and they put FNX up here. So if the bomb goes down, that's going to be such a great position for FNX. And Fallen looks like he's going to be able to do it.
And this is brutal, though. It has to be a perfect afterplant, and he is going to get it. FNX now has the angle. Hiko's working his way around the corner. Simple finds Fallen, and it's a 1v3 scenario now for FNX. And he's already been spotted. Look at the straight wall bang from Elige. He's not fooled. Knows exactly where FNX is holding from. What a huge eco round win coming in here for Liquid.
They needed that. They needed to seal one away. Because they had that gun round win, and then they get reset immediately, and now they can finally stop the momentum. They just need to sustain this next round, because again, it's going to be a really tough situation economically for SK, but they've been winning these rounds. They've been punishing Liquid on this, and you're going to see the Scout on Fallen. You're going to see the upgraded pistols come out as well, so there is a lot of danger for Team Liquid here in this round as well.
What is this buy coming in from SK? They've still flowed around 3,000. Fallen prioritizing the AWP. Definitely a little bit of a half buy coming in. They want to think about the next rifle, and they're going to drop up straight down to 1,000. Wow, okay, SK Gaming, man, they're really going to be a bit of a threat here. Team Liquid, they need to be careful not to get caught off guard. If SK decide to go ultra aggressive, they could try and go for a change of pace here.
I think it says something about the mentality of the Brazilian team. I think they're actually eyeing a chance to just do a lot of mental damage to Liquid if they can bounce right back here. They know that that is what's on the line, so see if they are going to be successful. JDM and Hiko now covering the B-bomb side. There seems to be a lot of switching going on about who's helping out Hiko over there.
It's been JDM. It seems like they want the op to do it. The Simple's rotated back when he has the op, but it has been a little bit changed up. Maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. A different setup because JDM's got the angle on lower ramp while Simple doesn't have an AWP.
While the push begins, they do manage to infiltrate towards Ali, FNX, and Taco. Taco even going so far as to peek the back line. He doesn't see anybody back there, though, and it's FNX to get the drop on Nitro. Point blank with the CZ. Simple, he realizes that he knows that somebody can make his way towards B. Hiko's already in position to deal with that, though, and that bomb, it's still waiting over in A main. So SK Gaming right now are just giving Taco time to work, but Hiko finds him in the end, 4-on-4.
But look how low that drops Hiko. He's down to 9 health, so this is still fairly scary. If if you're on the Liquid team. The bomb is making its way back down, so it looks like it's going to be an A hit. Nice shot from Simple. Cold going to be taking down Elige, and that was in Pop Dog. Now Simple has a lot of work to do. He's got the AK in hand, and he's up on the train. They're going to be pushing in now. Only 30 seconds left, and he needs backup quick. Simple picking up one more kill sprays, and that's a third one coming through. Now all on Cold Zero. 1 versus 3. It seems like Simple has done it again. That's a quad kill to shut down SK.
That was so scary. That's a lot of space. It's a lot of respect that Team Liquid is giving SK towards Ivy. Letting him get out, even though the smoke is deployed, no one keeping a close eye on it. That almost bites him. Nitro falls, there's no one there to trade. So they've got to be careful on how much room they give SK to work over towards Ivy. That's a critical part of this map. If they can't hold it, that's going to be a lot of options open for the offense.
It's definitely one of the more difficult positions to hold on any map right now that's in the pool. So whoever, draws the short straw, it's either you hold close to A main and run the risk of getting overrun, or you get alley, Bit of a tough draw, really. They are going to be putting some pressure on here, SK Gaming, and that bomb, it's making its way towards alley with Taco. So it makes you think that SK eventually want to wind up on A. But Fur and Cold being thorough, checking out the brown halls, making sure that that B site, there isn't any aggression coming in from Liquid there. It's Hiko kind of dancing around, and Fallen in the meantime is going to get hunted down by Nitro. Fallen just out in the open.
You were talking about respect, and that's a way to not show it, just to really go and fight him. He's a dangerous player. Close range as well with the sniper. JDM picking up a good kill there. It looks like Liquid have finally stabilized a little bit here. JDM getting some good shots with the sniper.
Yeah, that's sick. That's a good change-up. Not letting him make that progress. You're seeing how mobile they're making it up when they only have one of them. And nicely done from Nitro. Still aggressive, and he's going to clean out Cold Zera. 6-7. They've almost brought it back to tied up.
This is an excellent recovery considering the bumpy start that they had, and it's so true that SK, they always just seem to get off to a terrific start, apply maximum pressure, and then it's all in the mindset for Team Liquid. They need to maintain their cool, and they're showing right now that they can grind out rounds against SK, that they can withstand.
And importantly, it feels like Liquid, they don't have to use any resources sort of cheering up one guy who's not doing well. Everyone is fighting right now. 4 of them are at 9 kills, JDM at 10. So there's no one who's sort of bringing down the team, feeling like they're out of it, or anything like that. This is a full team effort for the American side.
Whoa, and the change now, Cold, straight out, Olofmeister style. He's looking for that A main peak. He might be able to catch out JDM. Simple's taking down Taco in the meantime. That was in Brown Halls. But Cold Zera's going to bring it back to a 4-on-4. Catches JDM looking the wrong way. And now it's Fallen. They just trade places. And now out through A main. He can find that peak. It depends on whether Elise is going to give him something to work with here. Simple rotating over to bolster the defense. And the bomb's still waiting on Pop Dog. It could still go either way here.
You can see how SK switches up that aggression. Gets the ops out mid early. Lets him get in position and just hold angles. It's a really uncomfortable angle for JDM to feel like he has to clear. And now the ops out of the hands of Team Liquid. They have none of them. No one has salvaged that, and all of SK heading towards the inner bomb site.
And once again, Hiko's going to have so much work to do. The one thing is he has a Molotov. If he puts it down right, it will stagger the actual offense, and maybe he could take them on one at a time. Elige coming in at the right time, missing a shot. There's Cold Zero, goes for a second one. Elige, he only managed to trade. Hiko with a headshot being pushed up on. And Fur, there's no one to return the frag. Fur picking up a double instead. And now it's all on Nitro, and clutching against these two players is going to be very nearly impossible. He has to take the first peek at some point, and he makes it out safely, but still even more work to come.
Fallen will have the first point of contact as well, and so it's perfect. Fur, all he has to do is watch towards the lower ramp in case Nitro is trying to flank from Pop Dog, and Fallen is the one to make sure that he can't come in from Connector, and we'll see. They might just cross paths here. Is Fallen going to get caught looking the wrong way? Nitro going to check the corner, finds Fallen, now a 1v1, but he has no idea where Fur's playing from. He's actually assuming that it might be on upper, which is the usual spot that you would look for the terrorist side. Incendiary going down to block down lower. Nitro's just going to try and stick it in. Fur, peekaboo, dead in front. Denies it and clutches it for SK Gaming. Another round on the board for the Brazilians. And Team Liquid, luckily for them going into this 15th round, it's not the end. They actually have money to buy, but they really needed to come out ahead here in the half.
Can I just point out that every member of Liquid is at 10 kills? That's some nice symmetry. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But overall, the scoreline is 8-6, favoring SK on the terrorist side as we move into the 15th round. So Liquid, they have a very long road ahead of them.
Yeah, they definitely need this last round, and now they have that double off. They hadn't switched into it for some time, but so good of them. They won a 5 of 6 at 1 point. So they're able to build up enough money. But now they've got to be very careful. Again, SK just slowing it back down.
And the Kings are changing the pace, just letting Team Liquid dwell on the clutch that they just lost. Nitro's gonna get flashed in by JDM, and he may be able to pick up one, but no, FNX is there to shut him down. Fallen and FNX survive at alley. And it's brought back to a 4-on-4. until JDM decides to step in, picks off Fallen, and now things get interesting. Now Team Liquid actually have the man advantage to work with here. They just need to lock things down. They don't need to take any risks from this position.
And you see such a small detail down by Ivy, how FNX has got his back turned to the smoke and Fallen is the one looking. So at any one time, you'll only be able to flash one of those two players. So whoever isn't flashed turns around and picks up the kill. That's just very smart play. And JDM to take down FNX is looking better and better. Fur and Cold Zero left here, 2 on 4. Don't know how you win this.
You hit massive headshots is how you do it. Elige, though, gonna shut down Cold Zero, and so it is just on Fur now, 1v3. He has a Galil, not even an AK, and Hiko gonna hit the headshot. Beautiful work from Team Liquid to close out the half. 7-8 on their CT side. Definitely not an ideal scoreline. They were looking for 9-6. They were looking to come out ahead, but
it could be done.
It could be done, exactly.
Well, you look at also the inexperience of Team Liquid. This is their first time on the major finals. Look at the start they had. They won 1 round of the first 7, and from there they brought it back.
Well, we are going to be back after a quick break with the second half, so stay with us. It's Liquid and SK. And we have returned here, the second half, first map of the grand final here in Cologne, Germany. And we have Liquid playing SK. And it was a really interesting first half. It looked, a lot of the time, it looked like Liquid were about to simply slip out of the game, but they managed to hold on.
And that's when you normally expect not only an underdog, but a team from their first major final to just kind of collapse. When they have that much pressure put on them, when they're down 6-1. And somehow, I mean, this is the thing, this team has shown so much resilience in this tournament, so much discipline and mental focus, which that's been one of their big failings in the past, and just of the North American region in general. So this is a whole new look North American squad that we have here.
Brazilians, they've already done it. They've won a major. They've done it for their continent. Now it's up to Hiko, the man on your screen right there.
You know, I'm a big fan of North American memes, but I've got to say, even outside the North American region, that's actually a quality that's really hard to find in any team and amongst any players. So definitely super impressed by what they're showing us so far. But Moses, do they have to win the pistol round here in the second half? That's something that they've not been good at. Is that an important piece?
I don't think they have to. It certainly would be nice if they were able to pick up a pistol round at some point. That would be huge if they could do it, but they showed against Fnatic that they don't have to pick up pistol rounds to be able to win maps, to be able to win series even.
You know, they can win the gun rounds, right? They can get the job done with the rifles.
I think one of the incredible things, we just saw the stats up at halftime, Elige has over 100 ADR, so we talked about, I mentioned the growth of him yesterday in that semifinals matchup, still carries it over into the finals.
He's so focused right now, Elige, but it is the pistol, and Team Liquid, they are just geared up and ready to go. They do have the Tech 9 on Hiko along with the smoke, and Nitro's the one rocking the utility. The rest of them with the Kevlar, and we'll see. It's looking like they want to head towards that B site. Taco, the one going for the shoulder peaks, and he might be in for a bit of a surprise if he oversteps. There's 3 players ready. He's been spotted. They know he's there.
Grenade doesn't really do too much. It slightly triggers me that Hiko has Tech 9 and not armor. It seems like he could have dropped it for someone else, but now they are going to go onto the site. They got the smoke down by the sidewalk, and SK trying to get in here to defend. Taco picking up a headshot. He goes down to Elige, and Elige picking up a second kill as well. Liquid off to a really good start right now. He's looking for a third. He's going to get a headshot again. Oh my God, SK, they're crumbling in this round. And Liquid, 2 more kills and they have it. Cold Zero gonna make a 1 shot there on Simple, but there's still more to come. FNX, he's got the health, he's sneaking around the backside, and there's 2 headshots in a row. FNX about to bring it back now, all on Hiko. He's got the Tech 9 and 2 kills to get. He's trying to find the first one, but now they know where he is, and the smoke is up. They're inside it, trying to see if they can get the defuse, and Hiko, oh no, FNX! 3rd kill coming in, and that's gonna be the round.
Oh, it looks so good. That the positioning pushed forward between the trains. They were lined up. No one checking the left side. Miscommunication. And then at the end, SK, those remaining 2 members do such a good job of juggling that aggression. Everyone taking 1 shot at Hiko, hitting him, forcing Hiko to pay attention to that angle, and then they pounce from the other side.
I was about to say that Lige was going to give Taco a taste of his own medicine, right? You know, he's just... That looked so good to start. It's just that this is the quality of FNX as well. All of these teams, they have these players that can just show up at any point in time and completely shatter your dreams. FNX used to be the man of clutch for SK Gaming, the ones who always come through with their backs to the wall. And in this round right there, you saw that quality again. 2 instant headshots completely changes the complexion. And so now SK Gaming, they're the ones with the guns, and they're going aggressive. Straight into the push and the firing squad. JDM waiting around the corner. He's gonna get that headshot, and now Team Liquid, they're primed to pounce.
Yeah, but because they got the bomb plant down as well, that means they don't have armor. It's almost a bit of a shame, because when you get gifted a start like that, you want to follow up on it. Nitro goes down, Taco a little bit isolated, but they can't really punish him for it, and he's just going to get a couple of kills. In fact, 3 kills in here as JDM ends up alone. Sprays for a long time, but not really going to be able to connect, and SK will win the round, only losing 1 person.
It's all right, though. That plant is huge because there really wasn't that much investment in that round from Team Liquid. That 1 push by Fur gives them the opening they need. It forces the defense, the remaining members, to play a little bit passive in that B bomb site. Rotation wasn't too aggressive, so Team Liquid get a plant, and they're going to have a very, very good buy of this 3rd round.
They have everything. They should have everything they need. The question is whether JDM decides to go for the glass cannon AWP here, and it looks like he will. And so he'll be able to back that up with a couple of nades. But look at the nade count for Liquid right out the gates. That double plant, that's a bonus $800 in their pockets each time. So you can get an HE, a flash, a smoke, that's 800 right there. You can see the difference that it makes. So this is perfect. Now, SK Gaming, falling with the scout, Cold Zero, man, just holding onto the UMP. This is it. And no time wasted at all. Already the push coming in from Simple. He's looking to find somebody out of position here on the A side.
Look at the aggression right now, but he actually gets the time to get the kill. FNX is a bit slow, a little bit aggressive there. Nitro, that's the bomb as well, so now everyone can just start rotating in. Liquid, I think, maybe pumping themselves up to have a very fast and explosive round, but it gets straight shut down from SK. Hiko hitting a good headshot, though, gives them a minimal chance. They can maybe still do it. JDM missing a shot. The bomb plant, not happening yet. In fact, JDM's going to take it back.
There we go. Time to pump the brakes. Time to take a little bit of a break now and actually slow things down. Let Hiko give him time to work, and he's going to get another kill. Shuts down Fallen. Cole is literally going to leap on him. But in the meantime, JDM has put himself in a position where he can actually come through in the clutch. He gets that bomb, and he has enough time to rotate out, change up the position, get a strong after plant position. So he'll have eyes on the bomb, and it's up to Fur and Cold now to rotate in and actually get that buddy system going. They're both coming in from the same spot. So this is a very tough situation for an AWP. He has that 1 shot, but he has to be careful about getting traded.
This is one of those rounds that could change the outcome of the game. JDM, 1 versus 2. They smoke up. That's so smart, and he misses the kill. Could have happened, but Fur will pick up a double instead. And some of these critical rounds, for Liquid to make a comeback here on Train, they need to at least win 1 or 2 of them every once in a while.
Yeah, and they've had their chances. They've had a couple now. And it all keeps slipping away. I mean, that's just smart play. Jumping across that gap, seeing the Opera there, and just jumping far enough to where you can just spam the box, make sure he can't get a clean shot at you. Really, really well done. And now, I mean, even with that plant, it's going to be some Tech 9s. They can invest a little bit. You can see the Deagle armor, the Tech 9 armor coming out, a little bit of utility, trying to keep that low, because look at the money on the CT side. Fur's at 200, FNX at 450. They still have this in a manageable situation.
It's up to Liquid now to actually find some kills here to make this round a bit more expensive. Like you said, right, to apply pressure to the wallet of SK Gaming, who are just actually going for a pretty solid hold here on the A side. They were expecting for Liquid to try and go for some ultra aggression again. If Simple, you want to come charging out, we're going to be there to greet you. And Fur, he's there to say hello. Simple this time, though, doesn't fully commit. It's a wise play on his part, just showing himself, and now he can back off safely.
One small mistake from SK, they just used 2 smokes over towards ladder, so that's a little bit of miscommunication.
Well, Fur's going to be quite close range, and he does trade effectively early on there. Simple and Hiko are going to be, well, just Hiko now alone and the bomb is quite far back. So again, just more damage would be helpful if you could have got the kill on Fallen then. But instead, it's the Brazilian captain picking up a triple kill. Still, Taco ahead of everybody with 18 kills right now on the scoreboard, and an overall 5-round lead for SK here, leading into the 20th round. And I feel like Liquid are running out of rope now.
Yeah, they actually are. This needs to be a huge win, and you look to some of these rounds, some of these clutch, the pistol round, all these things, that JDM 1-on-2, anything that could go their way, they need something, because they've had, even in the first half, they've had these late round situations that against Fnatic, it was going their way. They were winning those. Against Na'Vi, they were winning them. Here against SK, they've lost almost every single one.
It's not looking too hot here for Liquid. This is where SK Gaming can just take off. If they win this round, SK Gaming, they're going to be in a fantastic position now. And again, SK Gaming, they are expecting the early aggression. Round after round, they keep putting 4 players out on A early on, fully trusting in Taco. There's a lot of faith in Taco to just leave him alone on that B site. Because if Liquid, I mean, they hit B a lot at the beginning. If they choose to charge B again, he's your first line of defense. He's the man who needs to hold the line. But instead, SK Gaming choose to put a lot of faith in him, and he's actually falling back, playing it a bit more passively now. They're just still waiting patiently for Liquid to show their hand.
Liquid hasn't. I mean, they're still being very, very passive. They still have 5 smokes on the board for the Terra side, so they're gearing up for some kind of late round execution. The bomb still being back towards mid on Simple, transferring over towards Ivy to meet up with Hiko. Suggests it's going to be outside. This might be a play just to get JDM in position, just to see if he can go for a pick. He's got Taco blind. He spots it, but he misses the shot. He's going to go for more, though, and he catches Fur off guard.
That's a very counterintuitive play. Normally, if you miss that shot, you're going to be backing off immediately, but JDM, complete madman now. Taco walking in behind him. Does he realize Taco? He's going to have the perfect angle, and that's an easy kill there, but has it given enough space on the A side of the map? That's the big question right now. Coldzera is going to realize, wait a minute, they're all coming down. Ivy, he's looking at the exact perfect spot. Takes 1, takes 2, and a 3rd one coming through as well, and he's going to be going down. Coldzera eating every single member of Liquid coming through the back lines, and Nitro to go down. What a round.
It's a really nice thought out of Team Liquid, really well executed. JDM getting that kill. It forced the rotation from XK. It brought 2 extra players over towards the B bomb site. It created that window for Team Liquid, but they just didn't seize it. They didn't grasp the opportunity. They waited too long to execute out Ivy.
Boom, and I think we have the technical time, or not the technical, rather, the tactical. Exactly, it is going to be the pause put into play here for Liquid. It's a 2-minute timeout. You're allowed to have 1 per map. And so Liquid are deciding that now's the moment because SK Gaming, they're right on the edge. 13 rounds for SK Gaming and only 7 for Liquid. And, well, Liquid, no bomb plant that round means not a whole lot of money. So they do need to put some thought into what they need to do here, Liquid, to get back into this game.
And it comes down to, they're just who's going to be essentially the Taco of this team? Who's going to be getting these opening kills? We saw on the Terra side that pistol round, a couple of the gun rounds. Taco is getting those first kills. He's carrying it forward. He's being the one to lead them into bomb sites, into the action. No one from Liquid is doing that at the moment. We talk about the effectiveness of their opening kills, of their entry fraggers, that Elige Nitro duo. They're having good games, but they're not having that same style of impact that they need to have for their team.
All right, now you have that trio for SK Gaming that have just taken control of the first half and continue to carry forward on into the second half between Taco, Cold, and FNX. They're just leading the way as far as kills are concerned on this scoreboard. I mean, Fur is still lagging behind, but really, it just seems like everybody's dead by the time he gets there every time. Taco, Cold, like these guys are just wrecking house. Liquid, seems like for now, they just want to settle on a bit of a half buy, bolster that economy for the next round where they'll be able, when they'll be able to afford to get rifles. It's all about getting the bomb plant this round.
I mean, if you can find the right kill, we already saw in the second round how I think FNX got picked off going a little bit aggressive over by the B-bomb side. If that happens again and they have Tech 9s and armor, you can capitalize. You can win the round based on that. So it would be interesting. It also gives Liquid a chance to try being a little bit faster in a round where maybe it doesn't matter quite as much because you maybe don't expect to win it. So, I mean, that'd be interesting to see if SK can deal with that. Those A bomb side pushes, they haven't been too popular so far.
No, and even actually, you think back to the first gun round, what would happen was Simple was basically coming out mid all on his own. They threw some smokes to get him cover, to get him out by E-Box, to have some kind of an open duel. He loses that, and the other plan is over towards the B bomb site where Nitro gets caught trying to rush through a Molotov at Taco. So it's been a couple, that round specifically was a couple desperate plays, and Liquid's got to be very careful they don't get away from themselves. They have one more chance, essentially, to get back into this.
That's what it is. 4 seconds here, and we are going to be headed back into the game after a tactical timeout called by Team Liquid to try and see if they can stabilize even a little bit here. They've got Tech 9s, P250s, a Deagle as well, and a lot of grenades. Definitely not impossible to win a round like this, but a lot comes down to that first kill.
and having the patience to wait for it as well. Liquid spread out. They're expecting more of the same disrespect coming out from SK Gaming. They're expecting some kind of aggressive alley push, some kind of push somewhere on the map from SK Gaming just to try and get that information. What do Team Liquid have in store for us this round? That's what SK Gaming need to figure out. And so this time around, SK Gaming, instead of going for the stack on A, they've actually spread out across the map. 3 players on A, FNX playing in connector, and then 2 holding solid on the B side. So they're preparing for everything right now, SK. They're saying, right, okay, Liquid, you're not going to pull a fast one on us. We're just going to count on our aim to carry us through.
But they put the smokes down for a normal A push, but they're not coming out of main. They're coming out Hot Dog, and then 3 men down Ivy. Elige opens up on one. Cold is here, trying to repeat the last round. He's got the first 2. He needs the 3rd one as well, and he gets Simple. Cold Zero, just a rock of this team. Fallen going to be going down, but they will only get the 2 kills in. Having one player who can play a position that effectively is going to be a lot of trouble for Liquid.
Yeah, and there were no trades there. I mean, there was 3 members of Team Liquid coming out of Ivy, and just not a single one was able to trade that kill. Cold played that perfectly, and he did it just the round before against AK, so now he's doing it against the Pistols as well. I mean, how do you beat that?
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just getting fired up. Cold, he knows. He is so confident that this is SK's time to take a 2nd major title. And well, Liquid, they're gonna have to teach him otherwise. And so far, that lesson is not going well. 7-14, Liquid trailing on the T side. And now the aggression comes in from SK Gaming. Fallen up into brown halls, going so far as to peek into Pop Dog. Is he gonna get jumped on though? He's hearing the footsteps. He knows that someone's close. And there's the first kill. Can he actually make it around the corner? Taco's there to cover him, and he does make it out. SK Gaming, they make it work, and they make it look easy.
And Elige, it's just not as smart to try and chase that kill. Fallen's already gotten away. If you don't trade that very quickly, that play is not done without some kind of backup with him. So Elige is very wise to just take the hit, let Nitro die, he can't do anything, and not chase it down, not put his team in a bigger hole. But now look at what this allows the defense to do. They can leave Taco alone at the inner bomb site. They have 4 members outside, and Liquid's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough task to find out where to execute here.
Taco playing down on the floor of the B bomb site, and they do have the bomb over here, so they can make it in, but again, they need a strong entry kill on someone from Liquid here. Seems like with about 45 seconds left, they are gearing up for that B push. Both Fur and Taco are holding very close, so almost all of the Molotovs or grenades that they can throw are going to land behind the current SK defense, and that's a really big thing. Liquid, they just need to hit a headshot as they run in 34 seconds now, and they need to make a move of it. The rest of SK are out in the A-bomb side. No one's even moved an inch, and now they're going to go for it. Fur up on the train, and he gets flashed for a moment. Taco picking up 1, then 2 before he finally falls. And JDM going to get a kill there, very important one. 2 on 3, and the bomb, it is being put down, but FNX is also flanking in from behind, so this round for Liquid, they're sandwiched in. How do they get out?
It comes down to timing, basically. Do they realize what could go on? FNX with a little bit of a flash. They're not watching you, but he's gonna catch him lined up. Doesn't matter, Elige hits the shot fast enough. Keeps their hopes alive for Liquid. Cold will snuff JDM, however, and Fallen from the other side. Flanks in and takes down Elige. SK Gaming on map point here on train.
SK patiently waiting on that retake, just throwing that flashbang to allow FNX to have the time to come in for the flank. He actually did something pretty creative. He makes a jumping sound on that ramp, and he gives up his position intentionally because he's throwing a pop flash at the same time. He wants JDM at that train to turn around and watch that so the flash will hit him in the face. Doesn't work out for him, but it's a clever little trick.
That's what you have to know. Did he hear it? Did he not? Was he close enough, right?
It's a good idea either way. That means we're at 7 straight rounds in this second half for SK. Liquid have picked up exactly 0 on the terrorist side, and whatever else is happening, that's got to be a condition for winning train, right? That you can win some T rounds at least. That hasn't happened, and now they're going to go fast out into the courtyard here. Fallen picking up Nitro. Liquid, one last attempt here. FNX playing close to the train. He's going to be held up by Fur, and there's FNX finally coming through with a spray and takes down a kill. So now Elige, the last man left, and he drops 16-7, and SK picking up the first map here in the grand finals.
Spurred on by Taco and Cold, dominant the 2 of them together. From start to finish, that pistol round from Taco, the 2 triple spray downs towards Ivy for Cold. Tall task for Team Liquid to be able to take train against SK, but it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, they actually, this is a little bit closer than the scoreline would suggest. So many clutch rounds, so many situationals, and if Liquid can clean up some of their anti-ecos, they'll be okay heading into the next map.
Yeah, they should be confident on Cobble as well. It's a map that they've actually played close on, that they've had good results on as well. This doesn't mean everything here, it doesn't mean the end, but it is certainly a feel-good moment for Taco and Cold, and for Taco in particular. I mean, this guy, he needs to get attention because he is just so good right now.
Absolutely amazing. We'll get into the second half, but not before a short break. Stay with us, and we'll be right back.
That break will be a break of analysis. Thanks very much, as we do see SK find the first. Liquid unable to make it happen on their own, on SK's map pick. Gentlemen, that's what we expected here on the desk, apart from a rather naive North American on the corner. And of course, we'll start with you, Yenko.
Right, you would think he would learn from his older fellow in Moses, but they just never learn, do they? They
never learn. That has to be said. SK are looking like a grand final team. They're in that form that you were talking about, Duncan, suggesting that these are the world's best players, because that was intimidating to watch.
Now you see why it was so impressive what Virtus.Pro was able to do, because when SK Gaming plays at their top level, if you can't get near to that level, they're just going to do this. They're just going to grind you out. And I think what ultimately is kind of the theme of this map that you will remember is that coldzera was dropping all the big numbers, but he wasn't really making like crazy highlight plays. He wasn't making any super sick kills. He just was so consistent. He was always in his positions. He was effective from them. He would win the clutches, just one kill after another, grinding you down. And that's in general what SK did on this map. And Team Liquid, unfortunately, couldn't be that explosive force and couldn't raise their level. And so they kind of got left in the dust.
I think the problem here for Liquid is, you look at the first pistol round, right? Taco goes ham, wins it for SK. You look at the second pistol round, FNX shows up with another great clutch round. You look at the gun round we're seeing right now from coldzera, like all these individuals from SK just showing up in the most crucial rounds of the game, and Liquid just couldn't deal with that.
Liquid seemed to be missing that X factor that they seem to have in the semifinals, and that came in a lot of the form from Simple. He wasn't really a big factor in this game at all, and without him, Lige was stepping up. We saw some great stuff from him, but unfortunately, with how aggressively they were playing, specifically like in afterplan situations, and even for a lot of their CT side, they just gave away their lives in a lot of the rounds.
And I think the reason for that is, again, Liquid loses both pistol rounds. They get off to a terrible start, especially in the first half. Once they win the first gun round, they lose the following round, have to double eco again. And we were talking in the pre-game about how important it is that to have that double op setup for them, especially on the CT side too. So once you have a weak economy, obviously you can't really buy those AWPs, and on the other hand, you have SK who are just on a tear.
If Taco gets 120 ADR against you, it's going to be tough to win that game. Now, that's the good news for Liquid. Obviously, it's unlikely he's going to do this every map. Things are going to settle in. coldzera's probably still going to be there. I mean, this guy's literally like, by the way, guys, I do stuff that graffiti gets made about me against you. So they've still got to get over that mental block of this guy has a great time against Liquid. But I think moving on, we need some more star performances from Team Liquid, you know. At the moment, everyone's doing okay. No one's doing terribly okay. It's not like they're all choking or whatever. But who's the guy who's going to be the best player in the round? Who's the guy who's going to take over a half? At the moment, we haven't seen it.
But we have from SK, Yenko. Some of these performances, I mean, Taco, you heard Moses on the desk, he suggested he doesn't always get the attention he deserves as an individual, as a player.
I think it's mostly because he does the dirty work, right? We always talk about he's the entry fragger, he's the first guy going in those set plays. His main job is to create space for the other players like FNX, like coldzera, like Fallen to come in and take care of business after that. But once he's getting kills, he's just making the job so much easier for his team, right? It's much easier to get into that bomb side. And you saw, we already referenced the pistol round, but there was also the eco round where he wins the 1v1 against Hiko as well with that 180 shot, basically with no armor. I mean, when these players show up who are not really supposed to for SK, that just makes Liquid, they have to play on a whole different level to keep up with that. And
actually, to back up your claim there, talking about the differences between the roles, I mean, you can just look at the stats. Taco, he had something like a 40% first kills in that game, in contrast to coldzera, who had just 10% and a 0% first death. Not once in any round did coldzera die first.
Well, that's the thing. He's not. What really showed me that this guy was an MVP level player was he not only got his fragging to that high level, but I remember the MVP performance at the last tournament. The deaths was very low as well. So the differential every time this guy plays is amazing. Probably the most efficient player we have in Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And you can see these stats all available on the app, The Score Esports, so you can keep track of how these guys are performing in this grand final here for ESL 1 Cologne. After the break, I'll be picking these guys' brains of our second map. It is none other than Cobblestone. It's a rematch. We saw it in the semi-finals of Columbus between these two titans of Counter-Strike, and now it goes down on the grand final stage, guys. Do stay tuned. We'll be back with map 2 of this grand final in just a moment.